China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops sticking.
Hey everyone, this is China Chicken, and I wanted to go over the breaking news that we have a first look at Sean Levy's new Star Wars Starfighter movie. So this movie, they announced the cast, and they're going to be starring Ryan Gosling, which we knew about, Flynn Gray, which is the kid in this photo, which we kind of knew about. We knew it was going to be Ryan Gosling and a young potential Jedi Force user. So that's Flynn Gray, I guess. And then Matt Smith is also in this as a villain, which we knew about. Mia Goth as well, with Matt Smith as a villain. There's Aaron Pierre, which I've never heard of, but people were saying he's a really good actor. I don't really know much about him, honestly. And then there's Amy Adams. She's been around for a long time. And she's rumored to be playing the mother of Flynn Gray. So I don't know if her and Ryan Gosling are together and Ryan Gosling's the father or the uncle. I kind of heard he might be the uncle. So maybe him and Amy Adams' character are brother and sister. So that'd be kind of interesting. And then Simon Bird is also in this. Don't know who he is. Jamal Westman and Daniel Ings. Not sure who those guys are either. So I'm really excited for this. It's in theaters May 28th, 2027. So still, a little bit less than 2 years away, but still, I'm really excited. And there was a time when I would get super excited for just a picture of this for any Star Wars, image. So I would be like really excited back in the day, but I don't know. I mean, I am very excited for this movie, but there was a time where I would kind of put a microscope on this picture and look at every little detail, like all the little blaster bolts here. I don't know. But I don't see anything too crazy in this, except for they have a little speeder, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I'm just really excited for this movie. I think Flynn Gray looks like a cool character. He looks like he can be pretty important. Ryan Gosling, obviously, is a great actor. That's another thing about this movie is they're bringing a lot of stars. Star Wars doesn't do that usually, especially with the first movie that they do. They usually use unknown actors to kind of, propel their careers and stuff. But we have Ryan Gosling. He's been around for a long time. But, Flynn Gray, he's young, so he hasn't been in much that I know of, at least. I don't know anything he's been in. But yeah, I think this looks cool. So very excited for this movie. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, here's another photo of some of the other cast here. We got Aaron Pierre, and then we got Amy Adams, like I said. So it should be pretty cool to have these guys in this. And like I said, Aaron Pierre, I'm not really familiar with him, but a lot of people like him a lot. So be interesting to see what kind of role he has in this movie. And here's another picture of Flynn Gray, who's going to be the young lead, as they say here in the post. So looks pretty cool. I'm excited to see him and what he can do in this movie. Excited to see him learning about the Force and wielding a lightsaber eventually. Another thing about this movie is it is 5 years in the future after Rise of Skywalker. So is Rey going to be involved? Is anything with that? I'm sure she will in some way. She might find him and want to train him or something like that. So we'll see how that turns out. Okay, and then here's a quote about the movie. Star Wars Starfighter is described as an entirely original story set in a period of time never before explored in Star Wars. That's kind of interesting. It is only 5 years after the Rise of Skywalker, so I don't know how unexplored it is. I mean, we know some of the characters that are around this time, Poe, Finn, Rey, all them. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, it should be pretty cool. I'm excited. Oh, and then here's the post that I was talking about where it looks like Amy Adams and Flynn Gray will play mother and son in Sean Levy's Star Wars Starfighter. So I think that's kind of cool. One thing that I just thought of just looking at this image was, Amy Adams has that red hair. So is there potential that she could be Mara Jade? I don't know about that, but kind of doesn't match up. She's pretty, Amy Adams is pretty young. Luke would be really old at this time. If you don't know from the expanded universe, Mara Jade was a character that Luke Skywalker met when he was younger, and they had they ended up getting married and having kids together. So I don't know if they would bring that into this. I'm not sure. But that would be kind of interesting for sure. Just something interesting to think about. And here's another rumor here is Ava Mendes has reportedly been cast in Sean Levy's Star Wars Starfighter, and she'll be playing Ryan Gosling's wife in the movie. That's kind of interesting. But down below it does say that she was not involved in the full cast announced by Lucasfilm, so take this with a grain of salt. But yeah, we'll see. That'd be kind of cool to have her in this as well. I know her from a couple movies. She's pretty good. Oh, and this is some really cool news, but Claudio Miranda will serve as the cinematographer for Star Wars Starfighter, I guess. And he previously worked on Top Gun Maverick, Life of Pi, F1, Tron Legacy, and Tomorrowland. Some of those movies were crazy in the movie theater just with their visuals and everything. So to land a guy like Claudio Miranda as a cinematographer is huge for Star Wars, and hopefully he can make it look really good. And they do say here that Star Wars Starfighter is a standalone film not connected to the previous Star Wars films or characters from the Skywalker saga. I think that's kind of interesting. I don't know how they can do that where they don't connect it at all to the Skywalker saga with any of the characters, especially with characters being Force sensitive. I don't know if that's going to end up working. I don't know if, I just have a feeling Rey's going to be involved in some way with this, but I guess we'll see. One last thing I wanted to touch on, it doesn't involve this movie, Star Wars Starfighter, but Simon Kinberg is working on a Star Wars trilogy, and apparently it's supposed to be episode 10. From what they say in this article, there is a little bit of confusion on the wording from the article, but yeah, I don't know about that. So yeah, that's all the news that we have about Star Wars Starfighter so far. Very excited. It looks like they're getting ready to start filming. Let me know what you guys think down below. I think this is really cool to do a standalone movie with Sean Levy. He's a really good director, so I'm hoping he can bring life to this. And he did have an interview where he said that Star Wars is like one of his first loves. So I really like hearing that, and it sounds like he's had an idea for a story for a long time. So I'm excited to see what he can do in the world of Star Wars. So let me know what you guys think down below. If you have anything to say about this, are you excited for Star Wars still? Do you think it's going to be mid, like most people are probably going to say down in the comments? But I'm really excited. I know the sequels didn't turn out the best, but I still have hope for Star Wars and the direction that Dave Filoni is taking it with Ahsoka and all that. So maybe this can connect to that. We'll see what happens. But let me know what you guys think. Leave a like and subscribe, and have a great day.
Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops sticking.